ES Audio.
Hi, I'm John Weeks, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, why some tech reviewers aren't happy with the PlayStation Portal. But first, Japan has started releasing radioactive water from Fukushima into the ocean 12 years after an earthquake and tsunami destroyed the nuclear power plant. The water's been treated, and Japan says one main radioactive isotope, called tritium, can't be removed from the water, so it's been diluted. The plan was approved by the Japanese government 2 years ago and given the go-ahead by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which also concluded that the impact it would have on people and the environment was negligible. But the project has faced fierce criticism from China, which slammed it as selfish and irresponsible. Protests against it have been held in South Korea, and Japanese fishing groups are against it too, over concerns it'll damage their seafood, making it harder to sell. The CEO of Tumblr has been telling us what he's planning to do to make the platform, in his words, amazing.
Of course, I would love for it to be as big as a Twitter or Instagram, and that's definitely a long-term goal. I think that might take a long time, but we're in it for the long term. What is very important to me right now is that Tumblr, I feel a responsibility to its users.
Matt Mullenweg, the co-founder of WordPress, who became Tumblr CEO last year, has revealed he's making the platform open source, making the original source code freely available to users so it can be redistributed and modified.
I want to have a path where you could start with, call it just a Tumblr, kind of a fairly standard thing that there's 500 million of now. But if you want to turn that into an e-commerce store, or you want to customize it in a different way, or build a newsletter or a mailing list, these are all things that are supported by WordPress today in WooCommerce. So how do we create a really easy path there?
He told us they're even making the site's algorithm open source, so users can modify that to specify what content they want to see on the site. And Matt told us AI will play a role in helping the developers work on the back end of the site, as well as moderating posts on the platform.
Their coding can be checked by AI, or tested by AI, or something like that. So that'll allow us to do a lot more with the same or fewer developers, which is really exciting. I think AI can be a huge help in assisting on moderation. So if it could, help flag things before people even report them, that someone can look at and review.
You can listen to the full interview with Matt on our sister podcast, How to Be a CEO. The link is in the show notes. Details of PlayStation's newest handheld console are out, and there's mixed reviews from tech fans. The PlayStation Portal comes with an 8-inch LCD screen that looks like it's been wedged between a PS5 DualSense controller and lets you stream games directly from the PS5, all for £200. Tech reviewers have praised the screen quality and controller feel and haptics, but YouTuber Marquez Brownlee has criticised the Portal for not having Bluetooth, meaning you have to use PlayStation Link compatible headphones like Sony's £200 Pulse Explore wireless earbuds. Brownlee called it possibly the most outwardly anti-consumer feature in a new gadget he's seen in a long time. Video game technology has helped a woman speak again after she was left paralyzed from a stroke. Edinburgh-based speech graphics and American researchers at UC San Francisco and UC Berkeley used electrodes to identify brain signals associated with speech, then trained an AI model to recognize the brain activity associated with a vocabulary of more than 1,000 words. Thanks to the AI, the woman could write texts as well as speak using a synthesized voice based on recordings of her speaking at her wedding before she was paralyzed. They also used gaming tech to create a 3D avatar of the woman that can speak, emote, and articulate in real time, connected directly to her brain to help her communicate. A Chinese spy used LinkedIn to target thousands of British officials and try to mine secrets, according to a report published in The Times. The investigation suggests an intelligence officer for Beijing's main spy agency used aliases on the platform to try to bribe civil servants as well as military and technology officials to pass on sensitive information. A spokesperson for LinkedIn said their threat prevention and defense team actively seeks out signs of state-sponsored activity and removes fake accounts. Coming up, a report suggests lockdowns and masks unequivocally reduced COVID infections, and Avicii's hit song reaches major Spotify milestone. Keep up to date with the latest tech and science news. Hit that follow button during the break. Welcome back. A report looking into the non-pharmaceutical measures taken to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 suggests that social distancing and wearing face masks unequivocally reduced the spread of infections. The review by the Royal Society found that there was clear evidence of transmission reduction when things like wearing masks, lockdowns, and travel restrictions were used in combination. The review found social distancing and lockdowns were the most effective form of non-pharmaceutical intervention. Professor Sir Mark Walport, chairman of the report's expert working group, said the report does not suggest that every measure was effective in every setting or at all times. And finally, it's one of the signature tracks of the late DJ and EDM producer Avicii. And now Wake Me Up has hit 2 billion Spotify streams 5 years after the Swedish star, whose real name was Tim Bergling, died at just 28 years old. So, what else is among the 40 tracks listened to by the equivalent of a quarter of the world's population? Well, Avicii's Wake Me Up joins the likes of Dance Monkey by Tones and I, and Lewis Capaldi's Someone You Loved, but only Ed Sheeran's Shape of You and The Weeknd's Blinding Lights have so far hit 3 billion streams. You're up to date. Come back at 4 o'clock and search for the Leader Podcast for the latest news from the Evening Standard. We're back tomorrow afternoon at 1. See you then.